Before we had taken an off last year, मतलब कि last class में we had already completed that what was the new international economic order about, what was the report that was brought by UNCTAD, and then what the newly developed countries जिनका नाम LDCs भी कहा जाता था, LDCs मतलब the least developed countries. At that particular moment, that at particular time, no country from these areas, जिनको हम third world भी कहते हैं, they were not that much developed. So they were given, they had proposed a reform. Instead of all the capitalist countries, or instead of all the countries which were already developed, these countries should also be given some platform to develop themselves. ये हम लोगों ने जो है पढ़ा था. Then we also had read that नाम धीरे धीरे धीरे, it was actually a country which was opposed to any bloc. नाम एक ऐसा मूवमेंट जहाँ जो किसी भी ब्लॉक को ज्वाइन नहीं करना चाहता था. इट वॉन्टेड टू हैव एक्सेस ओवर इट्स वेल्थ रिसोर्सेज कंप्लीटली. बट धीरे 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 नाम जो है दैट बिकेम एन इकोनॉमिक प्रेशर ग्रुप. Some people say that NAM has lost its relevance in today's world, but it's not like that. So now, what was India's role during Cold War? India as an international player has always been there in the center. Whether it was 1947 or 1990s or today 2021, India is always there. Because India stands firm for its policies. सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि इंडिया जो है अपनी पॉलिसी के लिए बहुत फर्म होकर इट कम्स. So now, what was India's policy at that time? As a leader of NAM, India's response to the ongoing Cold War was twofold. At one level, it took particular care to stay away from both the alliances. Secondly, मतलब एक तरफ तो it did not join नहीं किया था. On the other hand, it also raised its voice against the newly decolonized countries becoming part of these alliances. वो दूसरों को भी मना करता था that instead of becoming the part of an alliance, instead of giving your resources to others, अपनी development खुद करो. मतलब India was on the move of self-reliance. India's policy was neither negative or passive. मतलब उसको हम negative या passive नहीं बोल सकते. It was active. वो ऐसा नहीं था कि passive मतलब पीछे हट के जाना. But it was not like that. You cannot call that as a passive step. As Nehru reminded the world, non-alignment was not a policy of fleeing away. Fleeing मतलब भागना. It was not fleeing away from the duties. But on the contrary, India was in favor of actively intervening in world affairs to soften Cold War rivalries. Matlab it wanted to be there in the international platform, not as a supporter of one bloc, but as a self. It wanted जो rivalries है, which could lead to a third world, which could lead to further destruction, should not be there. India tried to reduce the differences between the alliances and thereby prevent differences by escalating into a full-scale war. मतलब हर तरीके से वो कोशिश करते थे that these जो two powers हैं, even if they are rivals, they should not enter into a full-fledged war. Indian diplomats means the people who work for the international politics. Leaders were often used to communicate and mediate between the Cold War rivals, such as in the Korean War in early 50s. It's important to remember that India chose to involve other member of the non-aligned groups in this mission. During the Cold War, India repeatedly tried to activate those regional and international organizations which were not a part of alliances led by US and USSR. हमने जो international organizations पढ़े थे in our first book, some of them were framed after 45s. उन सबको जो है it used to make them aware. Nehru reposed great faith in a genuine commonwealth of free and cooperative nations that would play a positive role in softening, if not ending, the Cold War. As I said, you cannot end the rivalry completely. किसी के मन में कोई चीज़ है तो आप उसको नहीं ख़त्म कर सकते हो. But yes, a full-fledged war नहीं होगा. That should be there. That means India played an active role in the international politics. Non-alignment was not, as some suggest, a noble international cause. मतलब इसका मतलब ये नहीं था कि we were talking about the something social. No, it was not like that. A non-aligned posture also served India's interest at least in two ways. First, because it was not supporting any bloc, it could take a decision that could serve its interest rather than the interest of superpowers and their allies. मतलब वो अपनी बात को सामने रख सकते थे. They could keep their stance in front of the international figures. Second, India was often able to balance one superpower against the other. If India felt ignored or unduly pressurized by one superpower, it could tilt toward the other. Neither alliance system could take India for granted or bully it. मतलब दोनों के साथ में it maintained a normal relation. So कोई भी ये नहीं कह सकता था इंडिया हमारे साइड है, so we can take it for granted. It was not like that. But it has always been that NAM was criticized, specifically India's policy was criticized by number of countries. एक तो हम लोगों ने पहले भी पढ़ा था कि इंडिया हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन considered as a bully nation, a nation which has been entering into every other's politics like China, Nepal and everyone. That is why people feel this. First, India's non-alignment were said to be unprincipled. In the name of pursuing its national interest, India, it was said, often refused to take a firm stand on crucial international issues. Now, what is the meaning of crucial international issues? Mainly क्या होता है बेटा, when any time, मतलब any time if say an international issue is discussed, तो there are always हमेशा जो है two stands हो जाता है, two stands हो जाता है, right? अब ये जो two stands होता है वो आपके नॉर्मली सुपर पावर्स होते हैं, और कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है उसमें यूएस का जो सपोर्ट होता है वो ज़्यादा होता है. तो नॉर्मली इंडिया डजंट इंटरफेयर इफ देयर इज दिस काइंड ऑफ बुली. इट ट्राइज टू सेव, अपने आप को पीछे हटा देती है. नेचुरल है कि इवन अगर मान लो यूएस ने सही भी कहा और इंडिया ने उसको सपोर्ट किया तो इट वुड बी सेड दैट इंडिया हैज सपोर्टेड यूएस ब्लॉक, और इसीलिए इंडिया कभी फर्म स्टैंड लेती नहीं थी. इट यूज टू बी क्वाइट. गलत होता तो आवाज उठाती थी, बट इसको क्रिटिसाइज किया जाता था दैट इंडिया वाज नॉट टेकिंग फर्म स्टैंड. Secondly, it is suggested that India was inconsistent and took contradictory postures. The one which was always criticized was the Treaty of Friendship, जबकि ट्रीटी ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप वाज हमारी एक, इट वाज अवर कंस्ट्रेंट, इट वाज अवर कंस्ट्रेंट, इट वाज नॉट ज्वाइनिंग द मिलिट्री ब्लॉक, हमने उनके मिलिट्री ब्लॉक को ज्वाइन नहीं किया था, वी जस्ट हैड अ फ्रेंडशिप, और फ्रेंडशिप तो हम किसी के साथ भी कर सकते हैं. इफ आई एम नॉट सपोर्टिंग वन पर्टिकुलर ब्लॉक, दैट डजंट मीन कि मैं उसमें वहां पे किसी के साथ फ्रेंडशिप नहीं कर सकती हूँ. डेफिनेटली आई कैन. इफ आई एम नॉट वर्किंग इन माई स्कूल, इफ आई एम नॉट वर्किंग इन द स्कूल, दैट डजंट मीन कि वहां के जो टीचर्स हैं मैं उनसे बात नहीं कर सकती हूँ. डेफिनेटली मैं बात कर सकती हूँ. एंड आई एम नॉट राइट नाउ कंप्लीटली, अब मैं स्कूल में नहीं हूँ तो सीबीएसई के साथ आई डोंट हैव एनी डायरेक्ट रिलेशन, बट स्टिल आई एम देयर एज अ पार्ट. आई कैन बी. The same stands for the international politics also. It's not necessary that a country should sign a treaty just because it is supporting that country. There can be other cultural exchange. अब हमारा पाकिस्तान के साथ ही ले लो. Let us take the example of Pakistan. We are not having a very good relationship. आज हमारा बस चले तो हम पाकिस्तान को ख़त्म कर दें या फिर we may annex Pakistan to India. Yet we are having a very good trade relations with Pakistan. We are having a very good cultural relations with Pakistan. So then that means are we friendly to them? But लेकिन हमारा जो treaty of friendship था which was signed with USSR, which was for the अपने आप को बचाने के लिए था, that was criticized by outside observers as virtually joining the Soviet alliance system. उनका मानना था कि we had not joined this friendship but we have actually joined Soviet system. ऊपर से हम बता नहीं रहे लेकिन we have joined it. The Indian government view was that India needed diplomatic and possible military support during Bangladesh crisis, and that in any case the treaty did not stop India from having good relations with other countries including the US. अभी भी we are having, ऐसा नहीं है. We are having our trade relations, we are having our friendly relations with Russia also, we are having the same kind of relations with Britain also, we are having the same reason with Israel also, as well as we are having with US also. So हम तो अपना diplomatic जो relations है उसको manage कर रहे थे, but it was criticized at the international level, उसको international level में criticize किया गया था that it is not the diplomatic but it was an inclination towards Soviet bloc. But अगर आप देखो तो इंडिया ने सोवियत ब्लॉक से कुछ भी हासिल नहीं किया था. India had a mixed economy. It did not have an economy which was based on Soviet bloc. It did not completely blindly follow the Soviet model. So that's a testimony that we can prove. Right? Now, last but not the least is non-alignment as a strategy involved in the Cold War context. Non-alignment and with disintegration of USSR, end of Cold War, disintegration, Cold War ending, सब एक है. Non-alignment both as an international movement and core of India's foreign policy lost some of its earlier relevance, but it hasn't completely become irrelevant. But जो पहले था उसका वो relevance तो हमारा कम हो ही गया था, वो हमारा completely हो गया था, क्योंकि when USSR disintegrated, many of the countries had followed the capitalist system. So जो पहले हम लोग जिस तरीके से follow कर रहे थे, some of those policies, some of the countries which were supporting India, they were also in agreement with other countries. It was, however, non-alignment contained some core values and enduring ideas. और core values का यही था that each of the country should be given the access to their own resources and the platform to develop themselves. It was, and moreover, जितनी भी ये countries थी जिन्होंने नाम का foundation रखा था, हमारा एक common history था that we had been colonized by somebody else. It was based on a recognition that Decolonized states share a historical affiliation and can become a powerful force if they come together. It meant that the poor and often very small countries need not become followers of any of the big powers, and they can pursue their independent foreign policy. जरूरी नहीं है कि हम गरीब है तो हमें किसी का फॉलो करना है, हम अपने आप को भी डेवलप कर सकते हैं. चाइना इज वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट एग्जाम्पल फॉर दिस. चाइना इसके लिए एक सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल है दैट 1911 के बाद वी नेवर न्यू चाइना कहाँ था. China had closed its door for the entire international politics. It was nowhere between the First World War, Second World War. It did not support, it did not oppose, कुछ नहीं था. But it had its own policies. तो यही वो बताना चाहते थे कि if we are poor, if we are underdeveloped, that doesn't mean that we need, हाँ हमें aid चाहिए, but that aid should be purely on the basis of aid, not as a part of any block, कि आप हमारा सपोर्ट करोगे तो हम आपको सपोर्ट करेंगे. It was also based on a resolve to democratize the international system. Democratize का मतलब हो जाता है where each and every country is having its say. हर एक कंट्री चाहे वो मतलब छोटी हो या बड़ी हो, whether it is Asian or it is in the Western, every country should have their say in the politics. One man one vote हम बोलते हैं, उसी तरीके से each country should also have that. These core ideas remain relevant even after the Cold War has ended. So that is how the world has been there throughout Cold War, throughout the era, even after the Cold War has ended, उसके बाद भी, even after the what we say, अब तो Cold War is not there. Even there are many treaties between US and Russia, but yes, अभी जब Putin जो है, he had even agreed on certain terms with US, though they are not friends, but now they are not even enemies also. But इंडिया का जो पॉलिटिकल स्टैंड है वो हमेशा रहा, एंड इंडिया हैज़ मेड इट ऑल्सो. अभी मैं आज ही पढ़ रही थी दैट अभी UNSC का जो हम मतलब कि वी आर हैविंग अ टेम्पररी मेंबरशिप, एंड अभी इन अगस्त वी विल बी इनिशिएटिंग सम प्रोग्राम. So we had done it yesterday. It was there in the newspaper today on the very front page. Did you study it? Anyone? Because it's a part of your syllabus. Now you cannot expect your syllabus to be very book defined नहीं हो सकता. Anything which is related to your particular chapter can also be a part of your syllabus. I'll just share with you after this chapter. Next is, these are some of the treaties that were signed. इसमें आपको क्या क्या याद रखना वो मैं आपको बता देती हूँ. Like LTBT, it is a nuclear weapon test in the atmosphere, मतलब it banned, ये मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था, and it was signed between UK and USSR in 63. Then NPT, that is 68 से पहले, 1967 से पहले, 1 जनवरी 1967 से पहले जिन कंट्रीज ने मैन्युफैक्चर एंड एक्सपोर्ट किया था, दे कुड कीप इट, अदर्स कुड नॉट कीप. एंड वो कंट्री थी आपकी US, USSR, ब्रिटेन, फ्रांस एंड चाइना. दिस वॉज साइंड इन फर्स्ट इन 68, देन 70 में आपका आया था NPT. SALT, स्ट्रैटेजिक आर्म्स लिमिटेशन टॉक, मीन्स लिमिटिंग. इट वॉज लिमिट कर दिया गया था कि किस तरीके का हम यूज कर सकते हैं. दिस वॉज 1, 2, मतलब 2 थे आपके लिमिटेशन में. द फर्स्ट वन वॉज साइंड इन नवंबर, मतलब इट्स टॉक बिगेन इन नवंबर, and it was signed between US president and Soviet leader. And second round was Jimmy Carter and Leonid, again 79. Strategic arm reduction, मतलब वही आपको रिड्यूस करना है, लिमिट करना है, नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन कम करना है. दिस वाज आल्सो साइंड ट्वाइस. पहले आपके जॉर्ज बुश के साथ में था, गोर्बाचोव के साथ में. सेकेंडली इट वाज बिटवीन येल्सिन एंड जॉर्ज बुश सीनियर अगेन. तो जो आपका एनपीटी है, एलटीबीटी है, व्हेन इट वाज साइंड, ओनली if you see the reason for LTBT is written and NPT is written. तो बाकी के लिए आपका जो किस प्रेसिडेंट के बीच में साइन हुआ था and when it was signed, that you should learn. So this is the entire chapter, what we call as the Cold War era. Just I'm sharing the okay, you have read it. This particular clip जो है, that shows that now India is very much active in the world politics. It can show that at the UN level also now the country has started. So जो हमारी foreign policies हैं, they are further strengthened, not that कि now we are what we call as it is becoming irrelevant. हाँ, हम नाम के थ्रू ना भी जा रहे हो, but then also we are trying to come out with solid foreign policies. Though we don't have a particular word called Cold War now, because now the world is not unipolar or bipolar, but it is said to be multipolar. No doubt US has its big cake, but उसका मतलब एक share of cake, but that doesn't mean that it is having entire cake. Now there are many organizations, many countries जो कि आप अगर हम देखा जाए तो they may overtake US in few years, right?